Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel titled Computer the Way of Life. Today we will discuss about the topic Inheritance and Overview. Friends, you all know way back all the lands was the property of the monarch and the absolute power rested with the local king. Only king or royalty had the right to bequeath, that is, to arrange for money or property to given to somebody after your death, their property to one or more family members. Even the property and other assets of a deceased person went back to the local king. During due course of time, it was disliked by most of the people, and societies moved in the direction of diminishing the absolute power of royalty and spreading power among elite or privileged class. Those people also had the desirability of passing their property along to their families rather than giving it back to the ruler. This gave birth to establish the right of inheritance and subsequently led to a legal system of passing one's land down to his inheritors for everyone. This system was then expanded into passing along other properties like money and other assets to their inheritors. This proved to be a good structure for maintaining a stable society. Present government system also found it suitable where people should pay tax against the property they possess and providing funds to run the government for their activities. Inheritance is not only the specific real property or assets passed on to a younger person within the society or the circle of the family. It builds the root structure from which you define your adult financial strategy. Now we will discuss inheritance in details. The concept of inheritance coexists with the existence of animates in this modern world, but that remain unnoticed. In genetic system, the term inheritance is a process by which genetic information is passed on from parent to child. This is why members of the same family tend to have similar characteristics. According to property rights system that may differ among societies, religion and from one nation to another, inheritance is a practice of transferring property, titles, debts, rights and obligations to their legal heir of a person upon the death of that person either by way of will or through the prevalent laws of succession. By realizing the merits of inheritance, it is used in case of object-oriented programming in which we are mainly focusing on three terms, that is class, object and attributes. In OOPS, we create class which is a combination of similar objects and define their attributes or characteristics. Objects of the same class have some attributes but can have different values for the same attribute that may vary at different times, termed as instance of an object. To execute a task, first we define a class with class name, and within that class member functions or methods or procedures and data members are declared. By default, the data members and member functions are accessible only within the class specified. The block diagram is as follows: class name, then the curly bracket starts. Within that we have to define all the data members. So here we have taken data member 1, member 2 and accordingly member n. Then the member functions, member function 1, member function 2 and subsequently member function n. Then we have to close the curly brace. In the previous slide, you might have observed that all the data members and member functions are confined to the class within that they have declared. To overcome these limitations, different access specifiers like the public, private and protected, special functions like friend function, virtual functions, pure virtual functions and many more, and some special operators like scope resolution operator, dereferencing operators, access to character operators and others are also used, which allow them to use outside the class defined as and when required. In OOPS, inheritance is the process by which object of one class acquire the properties of objects of another class. Object-oriented programming allows classes to inherit commonly used state and behavior from other classes. In this, generally the properties of the main class or the superclass or the parent class will be inherited by the child class or subclass or derived class. It provides the idea of reusability. That is, if the attributes are defined in the main class, then there is no need to again define that in the subsequent child classes. It also speeds up the program development task and possible to combine the features of more than one parent class in one child class. In other words, inheritance is a process where one class acquires the properties, that is methods and fields of another class. With the use of inheritance, the information is made manageable in a hierarchical order. The class which inherits the properties of other is known as subclass, and the class whose properties are inherited is known as superclass. We can use the keyword extends to inherit the properties of a class. Its general syntax is class followed by superclass. Then we have to start the block of superclass. Within that, we can declare the data members and member functions. Then the class followed by subclass extends superclass. Then again we have to declare the block for the subclass, and within that we can declare the data members and member functions for the subclasses. With some alteration, different programming languages that support OOPS concept like Java, C++, C#, Python, R, PHP, JavaScript, Ruby, Perl, Object Pascal, Objective-C, Dart, Swift, Scala, Kotlin, Common Lisp, MATLAB, and Smalltalk. Each class is allowed to have one direct superclass, and each superclass has the potential for an unlimited number of subclasses. For example, if a vehicle is a superclass, then automobiles and pooled vehicles are two subclasses. Similarly, if automobiles is a parent class, then car and scooter are two subclasses accordingly. If a pooled vehicle is a superclass, then rickshaw and bicycle are two subclasses. Diagrammatically, it can be shown as. Now we will discuss about the types of inheritance. There are different forms of inheritance, and this classification is based on the different levels of inheritance. The commonly used inheritance are of 6 types. Number 1, single inheritance. Number 2, multiple inheritance. Number 3, hierarchical inheritance. Number 4, multi-level inheritance. 5, multi-path inheritance. And number 6, hybrid inheritance. We will discuss one after another in subsequent slides. First, we will discuss about single inheritance. Single or simple inheritance is a type of inheritance in which a single new class acquires the properties and behaviors from a single base class. This enables code reusability as well as adding new features to the existing code. This makes the code much more elegant and less repetitive. Its general syntax is class followed by superclass name, then within curly brace define the data members and member functions of superclass. After that, we defined subclass name, extends superclass name, and within curly brace defined data members and member functions of subclass. The same can be written by using the colon as class B colon class A. Here B and A are the names of subclass and superclass respectively. Diagrammatically, it can be shown as A followed by B. Here arrow indicates who is inheriting the properties of whom. Next, we will discuss about multiple inheritance. This is the type of inheritance in which a new class is derived from more than one base class. That is, a child class may have more than one parent class. In this, the child class inherits the characteristics and features from more than one parent class. Multiple inheritance increases the complexity and ambiguity in situations like diamond problem, hence not supported by some of the object-oriented programming. Its general syntax is class A followed by the data members and member functions of class A, then class B followed by the data members and member functions for class B, and then class C followed by the data member and member function for class C. then class D colon public A comma public B comma public C. Here D is the child class. As discussed, child class always inherits the properties of parent class. Here A, B and C are three different parent class, and D is the child class who is inheriting the properties of all the three parent classes, which is written as class D colon public A comma public B comma public C. The same is shown diagrammatically in the adjacent diagram. Next, we will discuss about the hierarchical inheritance. It is a mechanism of deriving more than one derived class by inheriting the features from a single base class. That is, the process of deriving two or more classes from a single base class, and in turn each of the derived class can further be inherited in the same way. Thus, it forms hierarchy of classes or a tree of classes which is rooted as single class. Its general syntax is class A followed by the data member and member functions for class A, then class B colon public A followed by the data member and member functions and the other required codes for class, then class C colon public A, then we have to define the data member and member functions and other codes required. Here class B and class C are derived from a common base class, that is A. Hence B and C both can inherit the properties and behaviors of base class A. The same can be diagrammatically shown in the adjacent diagram. Number 4 is multi-level inheritance. In case of multi-level inheritance, a class is derived from a base class and the subsequent derived class is derived from that derived class. Its general syntax is class A followed by the data member and member functions for class A, then class B colon public A. We have to declare the data member and member functions and the other required codes for the concerned class, then class C colon public B, and accordingly we also have to define the data member and member functions and the other codes required for that class. Here class C inherits the properties and methods of class B and class B inherits the properties and methods of class A, which means B is a parent class of class C and A is a parent class of class B. So in this case class C is implicitly inheriting the properties and method of class A along with B. That is what is called multi-level inheritance. Same is shown in the adjacent diagram. Next, number 5, that is multi-path inheritance. A derived class with two base classes and these two base classes have one common base class is called multi-path inheritance. In a two-level inheritance, it is possible that a child will have two parent classes. However, the two parent classes may be derived from a single grandparent class can be termed as multiple inheritance. As discussed, class A, class B, class C, class D, we have to declare their data members and member functions and the codes required for them. Here you can observe class B colon public A means B is a child class who can inherit the properties and behavior of class A. Similarly, class C colon public A means it can also inherit the properties of class A. Class D colon public B and public C refers class D is the child class who can inherit the properties of class B and class C. And finally, class D colon public A refers D is a child class who can inherit the properties from class A. In the diagram concerned, you can observe D is a derived class which has two base classes named B and C, and these two base classes has a common base class A. So it satisfies the properties of multipath inheritance. At last, we will discuss about hybrid inheritance. It is a form of inheritance in which more than one form of inheritance is used. Basically, multi-level and other is multiple inheritance. In some programming languages, if we are using only classes, then it is not allowed. However, using interfaces, it is possible. Its general syntax is class A followed by class B colon public A, then class D colon public B, then class D colon public B comma public C. As its structure is described more than once, I hope you have a better idea about it. In the adjacent diagram, B is derived from class A and D is derived from class B, which is a multi-level inheritance, whereas class D also inherits the properties and methods from class B and class C, which is an example of multiple inheritance. After having a detailed discussion regarding inheritance and their types, now we will discuss about the advantages of inheritance. On having many merits, it is adopted in many fields. OOPS also use this concept. We will discuss the advantages of inheritance one after another. First, provides code reusability. It refers codes are defined only once in the superclass, define the functionality, and any number of child class can use the functionality at any time. Next, reduce code redundancy. This reduces the source code size and improves code readability. Next, easy to manage. In this, codes are divided into parent and child classes, which makes the debug easier and program captures the bugs easily. Then, supports code extensibility. By overriding the base class functionality within child classes, code extensibility is possible. Then, improves readability. Reusability reduces the program structure, which is more concise, and improves reliability. Next, application codes are flexible. Inheritance makes the application code more flexible, allow changes as per the requirements. Then results better organization. In this, codes are smaller, simpler, and can be organized into more simpler comparison units. In addition to this, inheritance saves a lot of time and efforts. It makes the subclasses to follow a standard interface, helps to create class libraries, and improves the program structure. On having many advantages, inheritance also has some disadvantages. Common disadvantages associated with inheritance are discussed one after another. First, tightly coupled. In inheritance, base class and child class are tightly coupled. Hence, change in the code of parent class will affect all the child classes subsequently. Next, affects the performance of the program. In class hierarchy, many data members remain unused and memory consumed by them is not utilized, which affects the performance of our program if not implemented inheritance correctly. Then inherited function works slower. Inherited function works slower than normal function due to indirection. Then may lead to wrong solution. Improper use of inheritance may lead to a wrong solution. Then it takes more time and effort. If the number of labels is more, the program takes more time and efforts to jump through all the labels of overloaded classes to provide the result. After having a thorough discussion regarding inheritance and their types or forms, we can say the concept of inheritance is always there genetically. After realizing its importance and mode of isolation adopted in different segments of our life, with the introduction of OOPS, the scope of inheritance starts widening and the programming languages that support this concept implemented in their area of interest. On having many merits, inheritance also has some demerits. Hence, while using inheritance, a user must have an in-depth idea about it. Hence, here I want to utter there are many dreaded diseases inherited from our ancestors. If the genes responsible for this is identified and isolated, then we can save the valuable lives of human beings. With this, I remain. Hope you all have enjoyed it. Thank you for your patient hearing. Also suggest the topic of interest you want to explain me in future.